Have you ever looked at your Australian cattle dog on a scorching hot summer day, and thought that shaving off all that thick fur would be the ultimate way to help them cool down instantly? It seems like a completely logical thing to do, because we wear light clothes in hot weather, but doing this to your healer is actually one of the most dangerous mistakes you could ever make. Hi, welcome back to Paw and Order. My name is Carl. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating science of the double coat, to explain exactly why razor blades should never touch their beautiful fur. Australian cattle dogs possess a highly specialized weather-resistant double coat that acts exactly like a state-of-the-art thermos, keeping them perfectly warm in the freezing winter and surprisingly cool during the intense summer heat. When you shave this protective barrier away, you completely destroy their natural ability to regulate their own body temperature, leaving them totally defenseless against the harsh elements outside. Understanding how this unique double coat functions is the absolute first step in realizing why shaving causes so much severe structural damage to your dog. The top layer consists of harsh, straight guard hairs that act as a tough outer shield against dirt, water, insects, and dangerous ultraviolet sun rays. Underneath this protective shield lies a dense, soft layer of undercoat fur that traps air close to the skin, creating an incredibly efficient insulation system. In the summer, your cattle dog naturally sheds out a large portion of this fuzzy undercoat, allowing cool air to circulate freely beneath the remaining guard hairs. If you shave the coat down to the skin, you take away this beautiful airflow system, and expose their delicate skin directly to the blazing hot sun. It is a massive misconception that shaving helps them breathe easier, when in reality, it strips away the very insulation that keeps them safe from overheating. The single biggest and most immediate danger of shaving an Australian cattle dog is the extremely high risk of severe sunburn and heatstroke. A healer's skin is naturally very pale, sensitive, and completely unaccustomed to receiving direct sunlight, because it is always covered by thick fur. Without their protective guard hairs, the sun's intense rays can scorch their skin in just a matter of minutes, causing painful blisters and long-term cellular damage. Furthermore, because they can no longer insulate themselves from the ambient heat around them, their internal body temperature can spike to dangerous levels incredibly fast. Dogs do not sweat through their skin like humans do to cool off. They rely entirely on panting and the cooling airflow moving through their fur layers. Shaving actually traps the external heat right against their bare bodies, making them significantly more prone to suffering a life-threatening heatstroke during basic outdoor activities. When you run a pair of clippers over a double coat, you are not just cutting the hair shorter, you are completely disrupting its natural growth cycle. The soft undercoat hair grows at a much faster rate than the tough, protective outer guard hairs do. This means that as the coat slowly attempts to grow back in after being shaved, the fuzzy undercoat will instantly take over the entire surface area. It crowds out the slower growing guard hairs, completely changing the physical texture of your dog's coat from smooth and shiny to coarse, fuzzy, and Velcro-like. This altered texture behaves like a massive magnet for sticky burrs, loose dirt, twigs, and moisture, making the dog look constantly messy and unkempt. Instead of a sleek, dirt-repellent coat, you end up with a high-maintenance fuzzball that requires endless brushing just to keep clean and comfortable. This texture change creates a secondary nightmare because the newly grown, fuzzy undercoat is exceptionally prone to severe matting and painful skin tangles. Because the guard hairs are no longer there to separate and protect the soft undercoat fibers, the fur begins to twist and knot together almost immediately. These mats form tight clumps flat against the dog's skin, trapping dirt, moisture, and bacteria underneath where you cannot see them. This lack of airflow beneath the mats creates a perfect breeding ground for painful hot spots, fungal infections, and severe skin irritations that cause immense discomfort. Your once low-maintenance cattle dog suddenly requires intense, daily grooming sessions just to prevent their coat from turning into a solid, painful felted blanket. It can take months, or sometimes even several years of meticulous care, to fix this structural damage and restore the coat to its original healthy state. Another tragic consequence of shaving your Australian cattle dog is that, the shaved coat often grows back a completely different color, completely ruining their iconic look. The gorgeous blue mottled or red speckled patterns that define the breed rely entirely on the precise pigmentation of the mature outer guard hairs. When these guard hairs are cut down, the dominant undercoat grows back in a very dull, faded gray or washed-out cream color. Your beautifully marked heeler can end up looking patchy, aged, and visually altered in a way that looks incredibly unprofessional and strange. This color change happens because the hair follicles suffer physical trauma from the clippers, which can permanently alter how pigment is distributed into the growing strands. Preserving those striking, beautiful breed colors requires leaving the clippers in the drawer and focusing entirely on proper shedding maintenance instead. We must also talk about a very serious medical condition called post-clipping alopecia, which frequently affects double-coated herding breeds after they are shaved down. This condition occurs when the hair follicles are shocked by the sudden loss of heat insulation and essentially go completely dormant for an extended period. As a result, the hair simply refuses to grow back at all in large patches, leaving your dog with permanent bald spots across their body. These bare areas look incredibly unsightly and leave the dog permanently vulnerable to skin infections, environmental allergens, and insect bites. There is no magical cure or quick fix for post-clipping alopecia. You simply have to wait and hope the follicles eventually wake up on their own terms. It is a massive gamble with your dog's health and appearance that is completely avoidable by never using clippers on their body. Instead of shaving, the absolute best and most professional way to help your Australian cattle dog stay cool is through a de-shedding process. De-shedding focuses entirely on removing the dead, loose undercoat fur while leaving the vital, protective outer guard hairs completely intact and functional. By clearing out the trapped undercoat, you create open channels for fresh air to reach the skin, maximizing the dog's natural cooling efficiency. This process acts exactly like opening all the windows in a hot house, allowing the breeze to blow through and drop the temperature safely. It removes the heavy bulk that makes the dog feel weighed down, without stripping away their essential shield against the sun and dangerous insects. Regular de-shedding keeps their coat looking incredibly sleek, glossy, and performing exactly the way nature intended it to function. To start a professional de-shedding routine at home, you first need to invest in a high-quality undercoat rake and a slicker brush. The undercoat rake features long, blunt metal tines that slide past the outer guard hairs to gently scoop out the loose, fuzzy undercoat beneath. A slicker brush is excellent for capturing the surface shedding and smoothing out the fur on their legs and sensitive underbelly areas. You should also grab a sturdy metal greyhound comb to check your work and ensure you have cleared out every single trapped layer. Avoid using tools with sharp, cutting blades like the Furminator too aggressively, as they can accidentally slice the healthy guard hairs if used incorrectly. Having these simple effective tools ready ensures you can manage the heavy seasonal shedding quickly and comfortably, without causing any structural coat damage. Before you begin brushing, it is incredibly helpful to give your cattle dog a high-velocity bath, using a dedicated de-shedding shampoo and conditioner. These specialized products are formulated with natural proteins and omega fatty acids that help loosen the dead hair from the follicles effortlessly. After applying the conditioner, let it sit on the coat for about 5 full minutes, while gently massaging it into their skin. While the dog is still covered in conditioner, you can use your slicker brush to gently comb through the fur, brushing out massive amounts of loose hair safely in the tub. Rinse the dog thoroughly with cool water, until the skin is completely clean and free of any slippery product residue. This bathing process does the vast majority of the heavy lifting, making the subsequent brushing session significantly easier for both you and your pup. Once the bath is complete, using a high-velocity dog dryer is the ultimate secret weapon, used by professional groomers to clear out a double coat. These powerful dryers do not use high heat. Instead, they rely on an incredibly strong blast of concentrated air to literally blast the water and dead hair right out of the coat. As you move the dryer nozzle close to the skin, you will see massive clouds of loose undercoat fly into the air like snow. This process is completely painless and is vastly more effective than hours of manual brushing with a standard hand tool. Make sure to perform this step outside or in a garage, because the sheer volume of flying fur can quickly coat your entire room. Drying the coat completely from the root outward ensures that no dampness remains trapped against the skin to cause future irritations. After your healer is completely dry, finish the routine by systematically running your undercoat rake through their entire body from head to tail. Work in organized sections, starting at the neck and moving smoothly down the back, sides, and those extra fluffy areas on their back legs. Use gentle, steady strokes, allowing the tool to catch and lift the loose fuzz without pressing down hard into their skin. You will be absolutely amazed by how much additional hair comes out, even after a thorough bath and blow-dry session. Once the rake glides through effortlessly, follow up with your metal comb to ensure the coat is perfectly smooth and clear. This complete routine leaves your cattle dog feeling incredibly light, completely refreshed, and fully prepared to handle the hottest summer weather safely. Beyond regular grooming, you can implement several simple lifestyle steps to ensure your Australian cattle dog stays perfectly cool and safe during the summer. Always provide unlimited access to fresh, cold drinking water both inside the house and out in the yard, where they play. Avoid exercising or running your dog during the peak heat hours of the day, typically between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. Instead, shift your long walks, training sessions, and intense games of fetch to the much cooler early morning or late evening hours. Provide plenty of shaded areas in your yard using umbrellas, tarps, or dog houses that feature excellent cross ventilation. You can also invest in a raised dog bed, which allows cool air to circulate underneath their body while they rest, preventing them from absorbing heat from the hot ground. If your cattle dog loves the water, introducing a shallow plastic kiddie pool to your yard is an incredibly fun and effective way to help them cool down. Fill the pool with fresh, cool water and drop a few of their favorite floating toys inside to encourage them to splash around. Cattle dogs are incredibly smart and active, so they will absolutely love digging in the water and cooling off their paws and underbelly safely. You can also freeze low-sodium chicken broth or water with tasty treats inside to create delicious, long-lasting ice blocks for them to lick. These frozen treats provide excellent mental stimulation, while simultaneously lowering their internal body temperature from the inside out. Combining these fun, simple cooling strategies with a healthy, unshaven double coat ensures your healer stays blissfully happy all summer long. You now understand the incredible biological science behind your Australian cattle dog's coat, and exactly why shaving them does immensely more harm than good. By choosing to desh their coat rather than shave it, you are actively protecting them from sunburn, heatstroke, alopecia, and permanent coat damage. Your healer will look incredibly sharp, stay perfectly comfortable, and be fully equipped to handle whatever extreme weather comes their way. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today at Paw and Order, and learning how to keep our amazing dogs healthy and safe. If you love these professional insights, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with fellow healer owners. This is Carl, reminding you to ditch the clippers, love your dogs, and I will see you in the very next video.